Gilbert the Good-Hearted Jackal, Where's Ryan? By Alex Foster. Poor Cleo Jackson was very sad. She really misses her husband. Ryan Jackson was really gone. "Oh, Ryan!" she wailed. "My baby! Why don't you come back?" Her daughter Lassie was worried about her mother. She walked towards her and asked, "What's wrong, Mom? And why are you crying?" Cleo stands up and sniffled and said, "Oh, Lassie, your poor dad is gone. He'll never come back." Lassie was not interested. "Mom," she replied, "Dad is not gone. He and Mr. Gilbert the Jackal was going to the shop to buy the vegetable salad for dinner." Cleo felt better. "Oh, okay," she said. "I can't help it. Ryan and I were inseparable. He and I also were friends in Cape Town in school in South Africa." She and Lassie began to share their hug. Lassie was very curious about her mother was born. "South Africa?" yelled the girl. "I thought you and Dad are in Masai Mara, Kenya, Mom." "Your dad and I was, dear," replied Cleo, and she began the story. "You see, I met Ryan in school when my mother took me in the car. It starts beginning I was grumpy little girl at first." Flashback, Cape Town, South Africa, 1990. I was not happy riding a hybrid car. My mom took me into Cape Town Elementary School. My mom was driving out of town. We're going to the savanna where the bus driver take them. "Aren't you excited about the school, Cleo?" my mom asked. "No," I answered. "Schools look so boring, lame, and very stupid." "Young lady," grumbled my mom, "you know that this school was not bad. I want you Cleopatra Trixie medicine or do your best behavior. Do you understand?" "Yes, Mom," I nodded, "and we're going to drive all the way to school." So, I made it to school. I got out of the car. My mom kissed my nose to wave goodbye and said, "See you at 3 o'clock. Have a nice day." "Whatever," I grumbled. My mom drove away and I grabbed my backpack and I entered the school. As I entered the classroom, I met a friendly teacher from the classroom 19. Her name was Mrs. Potter. She said, "Oh my, you must be a new student. What's your name?" I'm Cleo Medicine," I said. "Cleo?" Mrs. Potter replied kindly. "Welcome, Cleo. Take a seat, please." And I decided to take a seat with my classmate buddy. Before I will take a seat, I saw a young boy right next to me. His name was Ryan. He was so kind of lucky, handsome, and cute. I got a major crush on him. Who is this lucky boy? I thought. I'm going to sit right next to him. After class, the bell rang. Everyone were comes out. It was recess time. I was walking around and saw Ryan. I walked towards him. He was playing sandbox. He saw me and nervous at first. I'm going to introduce. "Hello there," I said. "My name's Cleo. What's yours?" Ryan answered, "I'm Ryan Jackson. I live on the farm. My family and I moved from Tanzania. Also, my grandpa lived on the farm of Masai Mara, Kenya." "Kenya?" I replied curiously. "That's a long way. Want to play the swings?" "Okay," said Ryan. First, Ryan and I go to swings. He pushed me in on the swing, forward and backward. I enjoy it. "Whee!" I squealed. Then the lunch period, Ryan and I shared our lunch on the table. He gave me an apple. I blushing myself. The last bell rang after class. It's time for us to go home. "Boy, that was fun, cutie Ryan," I sighed dreamily. "We always have a great day." "Me too," replied Ryan. "You can visit me tomorrow. My family loves visitors." "Can't wait," I said as the bus drove us home. The bus driver drops Ryan off on the farm, then she dropped me off on the big city. But as before Ryan come in the house, he heard a strange sound coming out of the bush. He used his hand to put on his ear. That animal was coming in trouble, he thought. I must help. He went into the bush. Ryan leaps over the bush, and he saw a strange animal was a serval. "What's wrong, fella?" he asked. He probably understands wild animals.
"My paw!" groaned the serval. "I was pausing my small prey, then that mouse got away. Then one thing, I accidentally stepped into a thorn, stabbed my paw. Can you help me out?"
"Sure, all right, Mr. Serval," said Ryan. "I got a couple of tweezers out of that thorn off your paw." Ryan got a pair of tweezers from his pocket. He said softly, "Hold still, fella. I'll get a thorn out of your paw." He carefully, gently to use his tweezers. He pulled, and success! The thorn was out.
"Oh," purred the serval. "Thank you, young rescuer. I was very appreciated you."
"No problem, sir," Ryan replied.
"My name is Mikey," meowed Mikey.
"I'm Ryan," Ryan said. "I have to come home now."
"Oh, okay. See you later, Mr. Ryan. I'll go too."
And they walked to their homes. When Ryan got home, his mother, Mrs. Jackson, was surprised when Ryan was back from school. "Hi, son," she said happily. "How was school?" "Great, Mom," answered Ryan. "I just met a beautiful girl. Her name is Cleo. We are become best of friends. Oh, and I also met a friendly serval who got a thorn on his paw." Mrs. Jackson was very shocked. "What?" she hollered. "Ryan Bobby Jackson! You know the rules. Wild animals are not allowed in my farm." "The serval is not near your home," snapped Ryan. "It lives on the bush. Its paw got stabbed by a thorn." "I don't care!" scolded his mother aggressively. "The wild creatures ruins my garden and attack your Jed's chickens." "Why can't you believe in God who got care of wild animals, you tyrant?" yelled Ryan. Mrs. Jackson was had enough. "That's it!" she roared. "Go to your room, young man, and don't come out until when I say so." Ryan was very angry and marched into his room. The next day, Ryan was also had enough about his mother's rules. He got the longest blanket his mom gave him. He tied up the blanket into his bed's leg. He climbed down and he ran away from home and ran into the savannah over the horizon. A few hours later, Mrs. Jackson knocks on the door and said, "Ryan, you and I needed to talk." There was no answer. She opens the door. Then she saw their son was gone. "Ah!" she yelled. "What is it?" Ryan's father, Mr. Jackson, asked. "Dear," Mrs. Jackson cried, "our son was really gone. Quick, call someone." Mr. Jackson will dash into the phone. Meanwhile, in my house in downtown Cape Town, I asked my mom about we're going to the Jackson's farm. She dialed the number and our phone was ringing. There was no answer. "Hello?" asked my mother. "Is it Jackson's farm?" Yes," said Mr. Jackson's voice on the other end. "Our son Ryan was really gone. We need you to come over to my farmhouse right away." "All right then," replied my mom. "We're on our way." She hung up the phone. Then I was very shocked. "Ryan's in trouble?" I thought. "I must go to save him." The Jackson family were very worried about their son, so we dashed into the farm with our car, and we made it. Mrs. Jackson bawled, "Oh, thank goodness you two are here. My son ran off and we couldn't find him. Oh, please find him outside." "Okay," said my mom. "My daughter will find your son outside in the savannah." Then I will find my new friend in the dangerous wilderness to reunite to his family. So I go. So I was walking around the grassland. I passed the elephant was standing there. My mom said do not near the animals, so I did pass the elephant without there in the distance. I still kept on walking. I must search Ryan, I must, I said. Until I finally found Ryan! Ryan! I exclaimed. I finally found you! And I gave him an instant hug. Hey, Cleo, said my boyfriend. How did you find me? I miss you, I answered. Well, I kissed Ryan's nose, but I like him seen blushing. Come on, Ryan, I said smoothly. I'll take you home. And we set off. I just found his house until his mom was coming out. Mom! Ryan called. Son! His mom called back. They began to share their hug. I'm sorry I snapped at you, Ryan, his mom said. I know you love all animals. It's okay, Mom, Ryan replied, and they entered the house and having their dinner. End of flashback. And that, Lassie May, said Cleo, finishing up the story, they lived happily ever after. Wow, good story, Mom, Lassie squealed in delight. Ryan Jackson was back from the grocery store. As Ryan helped Lassie to get the groceries in the house, Cleo happily glad to see him. Serval story again? He asked. No, dear, replied his wife. I tell Lassie about when we met. As they always did. The end.